the UN World Food Programme has launched an emergency operation to provide critical food assistance to thousands of people in Gaza and the West Bank who face difficult conditions and lack access to food, water and basic necessities. In a statement, the World Food Programme called for the establishment of humanitarian corridors to ensure the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza and the safe and unhindered passage of World Food Programme staff and essential supplies. Alia Zaki, spokesperson for the World Food Programme, joins us live now. Alia, thank you so much for your time. Just talk to us about how many people are currently in need of food assistance as a result of the ongoing conflict in Israel and Palestine at the moment.
All right. Thank you. So even before the conflict in Gaza specifically, we were talking about nearly 1 million people who were in need of food assistance, so people who cannot afford food. Now, with the conflict, we are seeing that there has been 270,000 people who have been displaced, and we're expecting this number to keep on rising. So these are people who are fleeing their homes and residing in shelters or with family who have no access to food or water. So we're looking at a catastrophic situation. Right now, emergency food assistance is needed for these people who have been displaced, who are hiding in shelters or with their families. But even before that, we were looking at half a population who were already struggling to put food on their table.
Just talk to us about just some of the operations you are currently involved with, particularly as this conflict persists. How difficult is it for some of your officials to be moving in and out and trying to provide some level of assistance?
Well, movement in and out is not happening at all. We have colleagues who are on the ground in Gaza, and we're working with local partners to be able to provide immediate food assistance to those people who are residing in UNRWA shelters. So since the beginning of the conflict, we have been reaching, yesterday we reached 137,000 people with ready-to-eat fresh bread and canned food. And every day, as the numbers in the shelters increased, we're aiming to increase the assistance to them as well. So as an immediate response, this is what we're doing. Of course, the movement of staff in Gaza is incredibly risky. We are facing difficulties with that. We're working with local partners, and so we're able to make sure that the distributions are happening, but it is a huge risk. And what we are gearing up for, so our emergency plan is that we're hoping to reach around 800,000 people inside Gaza and the West Bank, those who are residing in shelters and those who are residing outside shelters, with both food and cash assistance. And so besides the ready-to-eat food that we deliver to people, our regular form of assistance was usually through the form of an e-voucher that people can use to buy food from local shops. Now, we are monitoring the situation of the shops to see if this is still possible. And our shops are telling us that within 2 weeks, they will run out of food stocks. Some of them will run out of food stocks within 1 week, especially wheat flour, dairy products, essential needs are not going to be available for people to buy in stores within 1 week. And so this is why we are urging for humanitarian access to be able to bring in food supplies into Gaza.
And just talking about that, as you know, and as you've just said earlier, all borders and checkpoints between Gaza and Israel are completely sealed off and closed, which makes it very difficult for you, to continue on that mission of acquiring more stock on essential services. Of course, you have called, and as other organizations, for that humanitarian corridor. How feasible is it, do you think, in the next couple of weeks for that to happen, particularly as you say, there is a very short window before a lot of those people in Gaza become trapped and it becomes an even more, desperate situation?
Yes, so we are coordinating with partners and with all parties involved to establish humanitarian access through Egypt at the moment. So we are pre-positioning our food stocks in Egypt, and we're coordinating with all parties to be able to ensure that this food gets delivered from Egypt into Gaza within the coming days.
Alia, I know that you said that, some of your staff members are on the ground. Just talk to us about the life, particularly for children, in terms of what is happening on a day-to-day basis at this present time.
I mean, we are very, very concerned about the safety of our staff and, of course, of everybody in Gaza. But we are seeing mass displacement that is happening. Lots of people are losing their homes. Electricity cuts are very frequent, which makes it difficult for us to be able to reach our colleagues and reach out to them and understand what's happening and the operation. But the situation is very grim for everybody on the ground.
Alia, thank you so much for your time.